I'm Robin Murdoch, live outside a warming center here on the city's west side. It is one of several now open all across the city to help protect people from these bone-chilling temperatures, these dangerously cold temperatures. What you need to know in my live report. Good morning, Brandon.
Hey, Robin, good morning. Stellantis cuts hundreds of jobs. The automaker slashed more than 500 of what it calls supplemental or temporary employees across the country. We're going to hear from a local mother who lost her job just before she expected to go full-time. Amy.
Well, we now know who the Lions will play next Sunday at Ford Field. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers crushing the Philadelphia Eagles 32-9. That means the Bucs will play in Detroit this weekend. We'll talk about the matchup just ahead.
Working for you. Fox 2 News live at 11 starts now.
Hudson coming to Detroit looking for revenge.
And we're going to be ready.
Yeah, that's cute. That's cute. Hey, good morning, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. But first, thank you for joining us on this Tuesday. I'm Brandon Hudson.
And I'm Amy Lange, and we are talking weather, of course. Even with freezing temperatures, many still have to head out.
So the longer you are exposed to the elements, the higher the danger. We're talking about frostbite and hypothermia. In just a matter of minutes, we're going to head over to Weather Authority Derek Kevra. Or, sorry, before we get to that, let's head over to Fox's Robert Murdoch, who is live with a warning from health officials.
Good morning, Brandon and Amy. Yeah, when it is dangerously cold outside like this, as you know, it only takes minutes for frostbite as well as hypothermia to set in. And that is why many communities, including right here in Detroit, they are opening up warming centers to help residents protect themselves from these dipping temperatures.
We got out here like around maybe 6:30 or something like that. It was real cold then, like my tears was freezing up. It was so cold.
Everyone is bundling up to brave these bitter cold temperatures. The current deep freeze closed down hundreds of schools on Tuesday across our viewing area, but also opened up several 24-hour warming centers specifically in Detroit to help shelter those with nowhere else to go.
Anything under 20 degrees represents a code blue event. And so what that means is we cannot have any residents outside. It presents a very real health and safety concern.
Among the around-the-clock options are the Detroit Rescue Ministry's Mac Warming Center. It is in the 11,000 block of Mac, and the organization's 3rd Street Warming Center in the 3,500 block of 3rd, while the Joseph Walker Williams Recreation Center on Rosa Parks is run by the city and even offers winter clothes right now.
Priority one is if you can minimize your time outside, that is your best option. Obviously, there's some folks that work outside or you need to be outside, and that's unavoidable. So then the way you dress is really important, and layering is critical.
Whether you are in the elements for a few minutes or must brave them for a prolonged period of time, the more you can wear, the better. And sometimes it's what you are doing out in the weather that's helping you get through it.
My hands are cold, my feet are cold, but for these couple of minutes we out here to put this sword down for no one to hurt themselves, it's worth it. It is definitely worth it.
Now, there are a number of respite centers that are also open all around the city, and these are libraries or recreation centers that are opening their doors and allowing people to come inside and get a break from the elements. We, of course, have put a complete list at fox2detroit.com. We are live on the city's west side. I'm Robin Murdoch for Fox 2 News.
Rob, I want to ask you a couple questions here. First, how long will these warming centers stay open? And, I mean, we're looking at the bottom of the screen. It says 10 degrees. You've been out there for quite a while, so how are you keeping warm as well?
Well, the first thing, Brandon, I am told that whenever the weather is predicted to be 20 degrees or below, that is when these shelters open up, these warming centers do open up. So they will likely be open through the remainder of the week because, as you know, these temperatures, they are expected to remain cold throughout the week. And I actually bundle up just like everybody else. I've got multiple pairs of socks on, multiple pairs of pants on, a number of different shirts, and I've actually added an electric blanket as one of my accessories. So once I get back into the car, I just throw this electric blanket on me and I am good to go until I've got another live report. Back to you, Brandon.
Well, Robin, hopefully this is the end of the line here, so we'll let you go get warm. Thank you so much.
Well, we are also hearing about quite a few traffic trouble spots this morning. Icy conditions causing some accidents.
A lot of backups out there. So we're going to check on the roads in just a moment. But first, for Weather 30, now we're going to head to Derek. Derek, what's the latest on this weather?
Guys, as we look outside, we're dealing with some sunshine, some breaks in the clouds from earlier this morning where we picked up that snow. But, of course, it's the cold. That's what everybody's talking about. That's what we are all feeling. It is dangerously chilly outside. Now, the temperatures, the thermometer in your car is still probably going to read about 8-9 degrees. Some spots now 10s and 12s. But it's the wind chill. It's not necessarily the cold. It's the wind. We always say it. So let's factor that wind into the equation. And this is what it feels like. So that wind chill, for the first time in what feels like several days, finally seeing one number on the positive side of 0. That's Port Huron at 3. Everybody else still below 0. Albion 13 below. Jackson at 11 below. And here's the scary part. It's going to get worse overnight tonight and early tomorrow morning. So today is one of those days where it is cold, but it gets worse then early tomorrow before it does get a little bit better then by the middle and end of the week. Here's today, noon, 4, and 8 o'clock. Temperature dropping from 11 down to about 3 degrees. The wind chill dropping to -13 by 8 o'clock. So already at that point, you're going to want to be concerned. In fact, we do have a wind chill advisory that will kick in at 7 p.m., and that wind chill advisory will take us all the way through lunchtime Wednesday. Snow, not a big factor. Did pick up a little bit of light snow early this morning. Unfortunately, that light snow was a problem because you get a little light coating on some icy surfaces, and that's what caused a lot of those traffic concerns. Speaking of those traffic concerns, let's get it over to Kelly Rowe for an update on what we can expect as we move through the day today.
Thank you so much, Derek. If you guys are looking at your screen, every red and yellow dot there, that's a different problem across Metro Detroit. So it is pretty widespread throughout the area, and that's been the case since early this morning. So you will need plenty of extra time if you're trying to leave the house anytime soon. We'll point out a few things you should know. We do have an accident on the Southfield Freeway that has that closed in the southbound direction between Ford and Michigan. Speeds, as you're starting to approach that, single digits as you're forced to get off the expressway, and you're starting to see those slowdowns in the northbound direction as well. All along 94 as you're heading down into the city, accidents left and right. That's a really kind of tricky area right now. Eastbound 94 at Allard, you'll see one there on the shoulder, and westbound 94 before Cadju, right across from each other, which tends to happen during these kind of weather events, the ice, and these accidents tend to pile up a little bit with that kind of gawker traffic as well. We have two more, eastbound 94 rather, at Connor, an accident there off to the shoulder, and westbound 94 before Van Dyke. We're down to one lane over there. So slow speeds as you're heading in, and just really tricky if you're getting the idea. Let's head to the Fox Cam, and you can see a live look at one of those. This is 94 east of Miraz. Camera shaking there with some of that wind, so that paints another picture, but several emergency vehicles and just really slow going. You will need a lot of extra time. Amy, over to you.
All right, Kelly, long morning for you. Thank you so much for sticking around, and be careful driving home. Well, we see them a lot when the temperature drops. Talking water main breaks, that's causing big problems in one Detroit neighborhood. This is video from our Fox 2 drone along Lindsay Street near Clarita. That's in the northwest part of Detroit. The entire roadway, as you can see, flooded, making getting out of your driveway virtually impossible. And with even colder air on the way, residents have even bigger concerns.
Hoping it don't get so bad where it cracks our pipe in the basement, because we got a neighbor down the street and she says she don't have any water at all.
Well, that is definitely not a good situation. The city says gas lines and other potential hazards had to be marked before repairs could be made. Crews are back out there today. We'll keep following this one.
We're getting to our other news of the day. A teenager is in the hospital this morning following a shooting. According to investigators, the youngster was getting into a car when 3 suspects approached and opened fire. This happened last night on Fairmount Street near Gratiot on Detroit's east side. The teen is now listed in critical condition. No word yet on any suspects or motive in this case. And a manhunt is underway in Clinton Township for a murder suspect. A woman was found last night fatally shot inside one of the buildings at the Peachtree apartment complex that is on Little Mac near Groesbeck. And we're told that this appears to be a domestic situation, and police have identified a male suspect. He's not currently in custody, but he is considered armed and dangerous. So far, police have not released his name or any photos.
The man charged in the murder of Detroit synagogue leader Samantha Wall is back in court this morning. A preliminary hearing is underway for 28-year-old Michael Jackson Bolanos. Wall was found dead outside her Lafayette Park home last October. Police arrested Jackson Bolanos about 2 months later. According to investigators, evidence shows he broke into her home and killed her during a robbery. And And a positive update on a Detroit police officer shot in the line of duty. We're told he has now been released from the hospital. The shooting happened last week at the Dorchester Arms Apartments on Burt Road near Davison. The officer was shot twice while inside one of the buildings. The suspect now facing several felonies, including assault with intent to murder.
All right, let's talk about something a little more positive here. That's the Detroit Lions. They're learning that they will play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next Sunday for the divisional round.
That's right.
Yeah, and as you know, it was going to either be Philadelphia or Tampa Bay. Lots of people thought it was going to be Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah.
Because of the injuries, etc.
If you saw how Philly played the last month, you knew
it wasn't.
He was going to be Tampa Bay.
Exactly. So Ryan Armani here to break it down. Tell us what's happening.
Here we go. They get the Bucs guys going to work early on the Bucs. They dominated the Eagles, by the way, Tampa Bay, pretty much all game from start to finish. Here you go.
Well inside field goal range, loft it up. Godwin, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Godwin.
How about Baker Mayfield? My goodness, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns. The Bucs cruise. 32-9 was the final kickoff. Lions and Bucs, 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon at Ford Field. Detroit is a 6-point favorite in that one. Started at 5.5. It's gone up to 6. So people like Detroit in this one. The Lions now able to turn their focus to the upcoming battle plan against the Bucs. More on that in a moment. We know the Lions are still fresh off that win over the Rams. Of course, didn't celebrate too much because they have their goals set on much higher goals. Head coach Dan Campbell says he'll never forget, though, the way the fans showed up and showed out on Sunday night.
Things started an hour before the game. I mean, and it was just 4 hours of nonstop barrage of the fans just going off, and you know, the chants for golf, and it was just what a special environment. I mean, for anybody that was there, you'll never forget that.
Hopefully you'll never forget this Sunday as well. For what it's worth, the Lions and Bucs did play in the regular season in Tampa, and the Lions won that game 20-6. And they did so without Brian Branch, their safety, without Jahmyr Gibbs. So they had a litany of injuries in that one. So there you go. And then on the other side, it's San Francisco and Green Bay.
Yeah.
Look, how do you expect the Lions to come out emotionally? Because last game it was all about Stafford coming in, first playoff game in 32 years at home, or 30 years, 31 years. But this time the Bucs are going to look for revenge. So how do you manage those emotions?
Well, you just have to be prepared to play the football game. That's one of the things that Dan Campbell has done, the head coach of the Lions. He has prepared these guys to look at what's ahead. And what is ahead is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if you win this game, you are 1 game away from the Super Bowl.
Wow, that is amazing and exciting.
Oh, I got goosebumps just saying it.
Oh my God.
If they win on Sunday, they are 1 game away from the Super Bowl.
It's incredible.
Say that with me. I mean,
one game away from the Super Bowl.
If they win.
One game away from the Super Bowl. But let's take care of business.
The most important game is the next game.
That's right.
Dan,
take care of business on Sunday.
You got it.
We appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thanks,
You got
Ray.
it.
Appreciate it. Go Lions.